Hello everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on this because I feel like there's something in this video that you're really gonna love. So let me just open up this book real quick, or my journal. See right here, I wrote in response to a comment that I got on YouTube. I was having a comment thread with someone, and they asked at some point, how can you love something if you don't love yourself? So let's think about this. How can you love something if you don't love yourself? And this is a very fair question. It's something that I've thought about, subconsciously, probably for all of my life. And I don't think that there's a very clear answer that I can give you, or maybe one that would jive with you and that you really feel like, okay, this is the answer, I'm good. And it's in this dissatisfaction of a clear-cut answer that I really find to be the essence of our lives. So let me stop rambling and I'll just read this little essay that I wrote. And hopefully you like it. So this is called How to Love Yourself. We are all created equal. It's true. Male and female together, we are significant, decision-making, world-shaping beings. And we have potential. We have infinite possibilities of what our lives could be. But we always seem to fall short. Why? So I had a YouTube comment directed at me today, and they proposed an amazing question. How can you love yourself? How can you love something if you don't love yourself? And I think that loving yourself is a difficult task. I think that love is a difficult emotion. I think that life is inherently difficult. But it's the process of finding love towards God that I think is a key factor in play. So it's the process of finding love towards God that is a key factor. So what do I mean by God? Well, for me, it's the Christian God of the Bible. That's the one that I conform to, if you will. But I think that God is so much more than, a certain team that you're on. Like, I think that there's a different God, in the Quran, so to speak. And there's a different, there's a different God in the Christian world, so to speak. But I think that these books all preach the same message. Life is complex, and to the point where we will never truly understand it. So with that being said, let's go on. See, God is a demonized phenomenon. We are indoctrinated to despise the valuable teachings of Scripture. The book is what formed our society, in a way. It's what took moral value and emphasized its meaning. So you can think back, back in the day there was probably chaos, most likely. And they found that eventually on these teachings, these words of love, and peace and goodwill towards men, these sort of teachings that are found in these ancient scriptures are the ones that really seem to help the people, become what they wanted to be. So I think that when we talk about love, we think, if I have love, I'll be happy. But the opposite is true. See, to love is to show compassion. And this is a difficult task. I think that the first step to loving yourself is to separate yourself from the notion that once you have love, you will be happy. So what does that mean? I mean, I'm saying, I think that we as people, especially here in the United States, we have this preconceived notion that we deserve love, or we deserve things. We deserve to be happy. And so this is going to be maybe a weird thought for you to think, but it is for me too. And I'm considering, well, maybe we really don't deserve anything. Maybe nothing is supposed to happen to us for any reason, you know? And I think that once you have this separation of, I deserve these things, I think if you separate yourself from that ego, it becomes easier to appreciate, well, the little things that we have. I mean, here in the United States, we have our freedom. And I think that that's a valuable asset to the function of our society and the peace that we have here in this great country. Okay? So let's move on. Because love is patient, kind, and does not boast. It is the reason we live. It's our meaning. So now that my ideology behind the concept of love has been addressed, let me help you take steps to being a more content soul in this world of chaos. So number one, accept that you are here in the world and there's nothing that could change that. So on point number one, let's hit this a little bit. So accept that you're here in the world and that you can't change that. Okay, well, let's think about the logic of my phrasing. So of course you could change it. You could kill yourself. No problem. See, but then where does that get you? You're not here in the world. So accept that there's really nothing you can do to separate yourself, no matter how many drugs you can take, no matter what kind of crazy stunts, adrenaline junkie stunts that you could pull. Once it's all said and done, you go to sleep, and then there's just you and your consciousness. Accept that that is the reality and the way of life, okay? So number two, this is a good one. I love this one. I think this saved my life really right. I'm not talking about type on the computer. Well, you can do that if that's all you have, which is kind of a funny phrase when you think about it. Like, all I have is a computer. I don't have a journal. That should never be the case, people. You should have a journal with you. Do you see? Because whenever you're writing with a pen to the paper, there's a method and there's a synchronicity that comes with putting your thoughts and connecting your thoughts with the arm that's moving to the pen, that's giving the page the knowledge that you have in your head, which is maybe an overkill of, thinking about this, but this is the way I think. And I think this thought process has really helped me to break down the minute, minuscule details of the systems that we are in. I think that really helps me to try to understand why I'm feeling what I'm feeling and when I'm feeling it. So number two, write a journal. Write about your feelings, your day, life, philosophies. I think it helps make sense of the world. So number three, talk to people. Now, I don't really mean talk on the internet, that's good. You can do that, that's a good form of communication, but it can't be your only form, because that's not the same thing. You're not interacting. You're not sharing a life. Because when we talk to people, we are almost escaping our reality in a way, because if you're talking to somebody, there's a subject, there's content. You're not thinking about, oh my God, I don't know what life is. We're on a floating rock, there's space, and we're nothing but monkeys. It's like, no. You're not thinking all these crazy philosophies, when you're talking to somebody. You're just talking. So I think that really helps to connect with the world. So I said in number 3, talk to people, because people are so funny. They are so interesting. Everyone has something to say about something. You can trust me on that. Don't be scared, walk with confidence. Okay? So number 4, this is a huge one. I used to actually do the opposite of this, which don't do that. It gets you nowhere. Practice saying positive things about yourself. Now, don't get too crazy, don't get a big ego on me. I'm saying, no, but really, in all seriousness, it's very easy to demean yourself, because it's only you in there, it's only you in there. You could just blame yourself and say, I hate this, I hate this. This is, you're stupid, and you say these things in your head, and that is torment. And you don't have to do that. Like, there's different options. So say positive things about yourself. Okay? And then number 5, this is my most controversial point. I don't blame you if you click off the video right now, but try to hear me out, because number 5, read the Bible. Okay? See, the world wants you to forget this book. There's a reason for that. See, the Bible is where we as people learned the concept of what is right and what is wrong, to an extent. And although the readings can be cryptic and misinterpreted, this, in my opinion, is the very realization that nothing will fully make sense. So the readings can be cryptic and misleading, sometimes purposely, but this is the reason of life, the complexity, and the fact that, you can sit here and be as smart as you want and get any kind of certificate from the highest school in the world, but at the end of the day, you're never really going to fully understand what life is. I mean, you could in your own truth, but when you think about the grand scheme of it, it's almost impossible to really figure out. Okay? Okay, so by learning this hard truth, you will be one step closer to God or love. So you could misinterpret, or you could interpret God for love, and you can interchange those. Even though, in this world, you've probably encountered a lot of people who maybe hate God and who detest just the very name of him. And you don't have to believe that there's actually somebody up there with a beard, writing on tablets, judging the world. You don't have to believe that. I mean, God is what God is to you, just as life is what life is to you. It's your truth. That's what you live, But I like to sort of change the word God and kind of think of it as one with love, because really what we're searching for is love in this world. And I think that we've really forgotten really what love means, and I think it's just to be one with life. And I think that life, God, and love are all one and the same. And so that's how I think about things. It's kind of been helping me lately. I feel really good. And I feel pretty confused, about a lot of things, and where's time gonna take us, and what's gonna happen with Trump, and what's gonna happen with me, and oh man, there's a lot that you can stay worried about, but you only have one life, so you can either spend it worrying and wandering in that depression and wandering and seeing and saying, what is wrong with me? I'm so worried about everything. I can't get out of this. Well, you can spend your life that way, or you can spend your life searching for what you perceive to be love. And for me, that's God. And I'm gonna stick with that at least, for as long as, well, the rest of my life. I really am, because there's no other option. No man has any significant thought process that draws me to him. No intellectual, not any of them, not a pastor that I have seen has been, okay, that's my guy, that's the one I'm gonna aspire to. Well, because they're human. I'm human. I'm just like them, So when you see Jay-Z on stage and, Beyonce, and we like to really man, I don't think I'll ever be as good as that. Look, people who find their direction in life lose it. And people who lose their life for the sake of God find it. So I hope that really helps. I'm really not like a Christian channel. I've never been openly talking about the Word of God, but I feel like it's my mission at this point to just spread words of love and what I believe to be true. And I think that's really always been my mission. And I don't know, it feels really good to be doing it. So I hope that you like it, and I hope that you found value. And you know what? I love you. So I hope that counts for something. All right, so y'all have a good day. Oh, and thanks for watching. I'll never forget to say that. Thanks for watching.